Welcome to part one of a two-part series of how to encourage a positive emotional climate in the workplace. You know, I get to do keynote engagements all over the world, and I can't tell you how many times I'm asked, how do we create more of a positive work environment, especially when they're going through change? How do we ensure that everyone stays positive and upbeat? Now, I don't fault them for asking me that question to start because I've created a mindset called change enthusiasm. So I get the desire to ask the question. But you know that I've thought about this, and though I completely understand the sentiment behind it, I really think this is a dangerous question that is a bit misplaced. Did you just cock your head to the side? Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you exactly what I mean by that. And you'll walk away with a completely different way of thinking about positivity in the workplace. A way that still addresses the sentiment of the question, but addresses it in a much bigger and more holistic kind of way. Let's talk about it. In this video, I'm going to first completely shift the paradigm of this yearning that you're probably feeling to have more positivity in the workplace. Then I'm going to reveal where your growth potential is determined. And finally, in part two of this series, I've got 3 action-oriented tips that are going to help you encourage the type of emotional climate that you're probably yearning for, but just don't have the language for right now. But you will by the end of this series. Okay, time to shift the paradigm. Though right now in this moment, you're striving to create and always deliver a positive, upbeat kind of emotional climate in your work, it's just not always gonna be that way. And honestly, if you think about it, if everyone in the organization always felt a pressure or a need to feel or display being positive and upbeat, it wouldn't be healthy. It can actually grow toxic. In fact, you've probably heard of this concept before, toxic positivity. It manifests when there's this pressure to only display positive emotions, inviting those in the organization to suppress or ignore the more difficult or negative emotions. Honestly, it invalidates the human experience because the struggles are going to happen. The really stretching business demands are going to happen. Change is going to hit. Disruption, transformation, a new manager, not getting a promotion. There are going to be things that happen in the workplace setting that will inspire these more difficult emotions. And when you're striving to only encourage positivity, it's going to invite those individuals feeling those difficult emotions to not share them, to hide them, to suppress them, holding them within, pretending that they're positive. Pretending that everything is fine, that they're happy, and that they have joy, when really all that difficulty is festering within. And ultimately, you're going to create, though it might look positive, an incredibly unhealthy climate in your workplace. In the workplace, as well as in all aspects of life, we are going to experience both highs and lows. And so I would encourage you not to strive for a positive emotional climate, but for a healthy one. When in those low times, employees feel safe and comfortable sharing about the difficulty, sharing those more difficult emotions like frustration, like anger, like fear, in a welcoming environment. And better still, ensuring they have the mindset and the skill set to navigate through these difficult times, seeing the opportunity that often lies within them. By the way, if your curiosity is piqued, if you're getting value from this, please subscribe. I drop videos like this all the time as my work sits in the red-hot center of emotion and change in the workplace. So I create these striving to deliver you value. So be sure you subscribe. Make sure you're the first to get notified when a new video drops. Okay, let's get back into it. Speaking of the difficult times and finding opportunity within, I want to offer something that I've spoken about many, many times now, and that has now become a part of the belief and the fiber within Change Enthusiasm Global, and I work with clients all over the world. We firmly believe that your growth potential is determined by where change and emotion intersect. right in that intersection, when the fear is inspired, when the anger hits, when the frustration, the despair, when that is inspired within you, when going through a lot of change, that's what determines your growth potential. How you'll grow, how you'll evolve, how you'll learn, what you choose, what actions you take. And that same dynamic holds true at the individual level, at the organizational level, and even at the societal level. So when we can encourage a healthy emotional climate where individuals are invited to explore those more difficult emotions, their ability to grow will be increased because they'll be able to sit in those opportunities signaled by those more difficult emotions, knowing, okay, what I choose in this moment, that's going to determine how I grow. So I need to acknowledge these, I need to be aware of them, and then figure out how to use them as fuel to move me forward. And at this point, I would invite you to follow me to part 2 of the series where I'm going to share 3 action-oriented tips that's going to help you bring a healthy emotional climate to life within your workplace.